Okay, so here's the one. Here's the one that either puts me in the loony bin or, you know, verifies that you can overdo tarot. But I don't think so. So, there's a lot of readings about, kids when they're young being sought out because their astrological signs, their I guess their path in life that they are born into, right? I think there's truth in this. The world lived this way for many thousands of years. It's only recently that we decided to do it our way, which, you know, we're doing real good. But anyway, um, I have really strange memories of being when I was a kid that when I bring up aren't the same. They aren't received the same as they were told to me when I was a kid. Matter of fact, at this point now, it's best that I never bring them up. You know what I mean? That's the kind of attitude I met with whenever I do try to talk about these things. Um, One in particular was I can remember driving at night and I'm thinking like I'm real young and I'm in a truck, I think, and I don't know who's driving, and I think it's my mom on the right hand side of me, and the window explodes, and I remember it, and I remember screaming, and then I remember the story I was told, and this is years down the line, was like we were coming back from snowmobiling, and somehow the glass shattered. Um, I've never been driving and just seen passenger window glass shatter. you know. So now I'm getting recollections of like a gunshot, um, more panic, and a really creepy house. A really creepy house. And I don't know. And this conch shell. I had a reading, listen to a reading about remember the conch shell or don't forget the conch shell. I'm not gonna shout out who these people are just because I've. It's not like I don't want to give you credit. All credit deserved. You people have been really my sanity right now. As crazy as that sounds, but yeah, this conch shell that my mom was always adamant about showing me when I was younger, and now I've never heard of it again since I grew up, right? And I called her out on this shit, totally ignored. You know what I mean? And in my life, when I usually call my mom on something, it's a immediate fight. Dominate me, make me feel stupid, and make me get my tail between my legs. Right? Not anymore. Not anymore. And it's strange because it's a new place for me. Might sound stupid, but like it's like I can see her breaking, and there's something behind it. You know, I still don't know what the fuck the conch shell is. I know I'm attached to it somehow. I know my great grandma was into numerology and all kinds of shit like that. I met her a couple times. I was always told, oh, she's so frugal. She was frugal. Well, that just means you probably got a lot of money stashed away, right? But she showed me this picture of her husband, my great grandpa, which I don't know that I ever met. I have a vague recollection of being told that I met him once when I was a very tiny baby or something, but I don't know if that's true. Sometimes you can just put a memory in your head, so you know what I mean. I don't want to go with that. But anyway, the one picture I was showed, I'm an avid trout fisherman, and this man had like a stringer of 20 inch plus fucking brown trout, which is like real wealth to a guy like me. And he just looked like a super happy guy, really good guy. Well, strangely enough, I start getting readings, and they're talking about a great grandpa that I barely knew. That you know, I can't totally remember because it was a few days ago, but basically, you know what I mean. He saw what I was supposed to be or whatnot, and there could quite possibly be some battle for inheritance or some shit like that. I don't know. But that's what a lot of these readings talk about, and that's what suddenly starts pulling on these heartstrings that lead to memories, and it's not coincidences, but it just stuff lines up, and it's holy shit moment after holy shit moment. And in my life, holy shit moments mean something all the time. So my aunt and uncle currently, so my aunt Shelly, um, was always accused. Like when I grew up, my dad and stuff would say she was in a cult and things like that, right? And she was all about the International House of Prayer and churches, religion, just horseshit, and that's all right. Sometimes the horse shit serves a purpose to a certain level, but when you stop and you're still waiting and shit, and you haven't quite gotten out all the way. You know what I mean? That's your fault. At any time you can go learn a little more about your path, but when you look at yourself as you know, I'm on my pedestal. You can't get higher than me. Well, then you start to see the systemic problems we have in our society, you know. But anyway, um, throughout the years, I never saw her much, and then after my dad committed suicide, she came up and started to act like this bullshit parent figure and stuff, and then suddenly gets married out of nowhere, and it's supposed to be this, miracle stuff. And at that time, I just bought into church again because I've been fucking my life up, or so I thought. I still don't. I still don't put my actions on anything else, any other cause. Whatever I did, I took responsibility for. I still do. Um, Although I'm starting to understand that energetic manipulation is real, and maybe I didn't quite want to do everything that I did, because in the moment and afterwards, I'd always feel the guilt, and you know, I knew in my heart, why the fuck would I do that? So, um, my whole family had their whole religious crap going on, and so my aunt Shelley. Back to the story. I'm sorry, I trail. But back to the story. They'd just start doing weird shit. She always would pull this like psychic stuff on me, and I had this dream about her and him kind of leaving me at the den of this, at the front of this amusement park, right? And there's this big, tall, fucking guy there, and I didn't, it's a dream state, right? So they're kind of behind me, and I'm staring at the land around me, and it's all like clay animation, like it can form at any time to whatever the fuck it wants. And so this guy, he opens the gates to me, and I walk into this fucking amusement park, and then it drifts on me, and slowly these things start coming out, and they're like, your typical green nose with the wart witch and stuff, you know what I mean? And just funny. And I had some stuff in my pocket. I think I had a tin of chew, a pack of smokes, my keys, which had a knife on it, and a lighter. And the more these things would come in and attack me, I was like, well, fuck it. I gotta get rid of these things. I gotta get rid of these ties, right? and and it just kept getting worse and worse. And then they started almost touch me, like just keep creeping, right? So I flip my knife and I start, poking. And I remember, and then I run and run, and then everything turns into a cave. And as I'm running down this cave, I know something's chasing me, right? You can feel it. The hair on the back of your neck stand up. The willies when you go in the basement and then you come back up and you're like, something's behind me. It's that feeling. And then I get to the end of the wall and there's this little peephole and I know I can't fit, but I'm, what's in there? And it says, tell me 4 things you know about yourself. And bam, I wake up. But then it's not like I woke up, right? But the whole dream's still going on inside me, and then like it's pulling me back, and I'm trying to get out. It's pulling me back. I'm trying to get out, and like 3, 4 moments of that, like this is a period of 15 seconds where I'm, you know what I mean. And then I finally pull out of it. It was like I think it was 3:03 in the morning when I went down to the kitchen because I went outside. I had to have a cigarette. I'm fucking shaking. Like this shit was wild. Now I understand that was a ritual, that I tuned into, as it was happening to me. So these fucking people have been poisoning me, sacrificing me. They tried to unalive me, which is in one of my last videos. And then it's on to the Edwards side, which is kind of the same fucking thing. My grandma ran a foster home and, like, staged this thing where, man, I don't know. It's like they're trying to set me up to be a fucking pedophile my whole life. And, they're looking for it. Like, my grandpa was actually sent to prison for messing with foster kids. I don't know if he did it at the time. Me and my dad, I think I was like 14 or 15. And if my dad didn't want part of it, I didn't want part of it. So that's how I treated it. But he had porn tapes in his fucking car lot, like already in the fucking tape player. And I'd go down there and I'd watch cartoons, you know what I mean? Well, him and my dad shot the shit. So one day we're in there, I turned on the tape and, porn starts rolling and dad shuts it off and he's laughing and, like, whatever, But a couple years later, the story comes out. And so, now I get to this point in my life. I'm like, hold on a minute. Are you fucking people trying to do the same thing to me? It ain't gonna work because you got nothing. And I ain't afraid to say anything about myself. Nothing. I'll kneel down and take my judgment gladly if it means the rest of you gotta see yours. 100%. So, let's see, what other weird shit can I think of right now? I don't know. I think 2 videos a day is good enough.